All right, ladies, we're going to start with our structured warm-up. We're going to go dot to dot. Center of our body to the center of our body. So inside the V, as we call it, you're aiming for the other person's dot. All right, 10 of those, 10 attempts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just 10, just 10, just 10. All right. I'm going to give you a little reminder, Joan, on the way you're holding the paddle. We want to get that finger around, and we want to bend in the wrist so that we're pushing the ball, right? If your wrist is straight like this, you're always going to hit the ball up in the air. You want to be pushing the ball towards, just over the net, okay? Okay, now we're going to go from one side of our body to the same side. So we'll go down this side first, down this side first. Yep. 10 attempts. It's all right. We're working on it. We're here to practice. Val and Lynn, I haven't seen you in a while. You're both slapping. We don't slap. We push. We push. Slap or no slapping. Slap or no slapping. Pushing only. Okay, I'm going to get everybody to pause for a second. Get everybody over on this side of me here, please. Can I borrow your ball, Joan? Thank you. Margaret, you and I are going to do a demo. Okay, want to remember the concept of the little fishing net? Like I'm holding my net out to catch the ball, and then when the ball gets there, I'm just going to give it a little push. So I'm staying back from the ball, and I'm giving it a push, and I'm pushing it towards the dot, right? And I'm not slapping. I'm trying not to break the shell on the egg. I'm just giving it a push. Like I'm going to catch it, and then I give it a little push. Like I'm going to catch it, and then I give it a little push. Right? That's all we need to do for this. Okay, let's start at the beginning again. We're going to go dot to dot. Remember to stand at least 3 feet behind your dot so that the ball has some room to bounce. If I'm standing here and the ball's going to bounce on the dot, I need to be able to get my racket out in front of me, so I need to leave space behind the dot for me, my arm extension, and my racket, right? Okay? So don't get too close to your dot. Good, Joan. Good. Margaret, keep both feet on the ground. Oh, look at that. Hit the dot. She wins practice. There we go. Nice, smooth contact. I like that. Okay, Margaret's going to be our anchor. We're all going to rotate around Margaret one position. So Val, you're going to come over here. Lynn, you're over there. All right, same thing. Continue rallying back and forth, keeping the ball out in front of you and giving it a little push. Good job, John. Keep your back foot on the ground. Heel can come up, but keep your foot on the ground. Okay? So your heel can come up, that's fine, but make sure your foot stays on the ground. There you go. Oops, sorry, Lynn. Don't overshoot your dot, Margaret. Okay, pause for 1 second. We're doing another demonstration. I'll get you over here. Margaret and I are going to demonstrate. Now we're going to use the back of our racket. We've been hitting everything with the forehand. Now we're going to do exactly the same thing with the back of our racket. So we're going to go back of our racket to back of our racket. Oops, right into my feet. Remember to try not to overshoot your dot. Not overshooting your dot is important because it'll give your partner an opportunity to hit the ball. So I'm just using the back of my racket now. Still the same concept. It's like I'm trying to catch the fish backhanded, and I'm just pushing the ball away. Do you have a question? Okay.
So when you're using the back of the racket,
you shouldn't need to. So forehand, if you're using the continental grip, the handshake grip, yeah, you shouldn't need to. Right? You're just going to turn your forearm. Yep. Okay. Let's try that. So now we're just pushing with our backhand side of our racket. Yeah. Push. Good. Okay, everybody pause for a second. I'm going to do another demonstration with Margaret. Remember your racket. Okay. So notice that I'm keeping my racket head down. I noticed that a lot of you feel that your racket needs to be perpendicular to the ground. It doesn't need to be, or parallel to the ground. Keep your racket head down. So my racket head is down. My racket's in front of me. That's all we need to do. The only difference between a dink backhand and a drive backhand, I'm going to show you now. Go ahead and dink with me some more. Okay, so this is a dink. My racket head is down, right? So when I turn to hit a backhand, all I'm doing now is turning sideways, but I'm still hitting a dink, right? Right? And I get a little further back. Keep pushing it back to me, Margaret. Right? I get a little further back. I'm still essentially hitting a dink, aren't I? I'm still essentially hitting a dink. It's not much more than a dink. So just turning sideways, yeah. So we're not turning sideways yet. I was just demonstrating. Keep your racket head down. Don't feel that you have to be hitting with your racket parallel to the ground, okay? Yeah. If you bend your wrist, remember I teaching you to bend your wrist, yeah. It's good, Val. Doing great. Push, push. There we go. Push. Yeah, you got it, Val. Push. Just push. Don't slap, Lynn. Just push. Push, push, push. Don't break the egg. All right, so Lynn, remember I said catch the fish? Right now you're doing this, and you're swinging at the fish. So I don't want you swinging at the fish. I just want you to stick your net out to catch it, and then just push it. Okay, let's rotate one position around Margaret. Here you go, Joe. Or actually, this will be for them. There you go, Margaret. Ball. Sorry, cut you off guard. Okay, try the same thing. Okay, pause for 1 second, Lynn. You guys keep going. Just stand right here. I'm going to be you. We're going to change what we're doing here a little bit, Margaret. So feed it to me. It's okay. Try it again. There. So I'm just going to catch it. Catch it. Catch it. Okay, that's what I want you to do. Good. So you're going to let it bounce, and then you're going to bump it, Lynn. Let it bounce. There you go. Catch it. Okay. Yeah. So see how as it comes to you, you're slapping it and pushing the ball away from you? This is what I want you to do. Don't push it away from you. Just catch it. Just stop it with your racket. Right? So I'm not swinging at it. I'm just blocking it. Okay? There you go. You got it. Now. Good. You got it now, Lynn. There you go. There you got it. Yep. Okay, now we're going to move to the next progression, Lynn. We're going to move to the next progression. Let me show you what it is. Ready, Margaret? You're going to feed me, okay? So, just like I'm going to catch it. Oops. Just like I'm going to catch it. Just going to give it a little bump. So just like I'm going to, oops. Just like I'm going to block it, except now instead of blocking it, I'm just going to give it a little bump. So I'm not bringing the racket behind me at all. I'm just trying to block it and give it a little bump. You're getting lots of reps in, Joan. Okay. There you go. There we go, Lynn. That's awesome. 2. Look at that. See? You got it, Lynn.
Sorry, that was hard.
So you don't want the ball to get right into your feet. You want to try and catch it while it's out in front of you. Okay? If it gets into your feet, you're going to pop it up. One sec. So rather than flicking it, push it. Push it. Keep your wrist steady. Give it a push. You got it. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, that time you didn't because you were nervous because the coach is standing right next to you. Okay, let's pause for a second. Okay, what we're going to do now is the person on this side is going to turn sideways. And you're going to feed everything to this side of the dot. You're going to feed everything to the dot. I'm going to stay on this side of my dot. Oh, you're making it hard on me, Margaret. The dot's over here. This dot, not that one. There we go. That's awesome. Okay. So now I'm doing exactly the same thing. The only difference now is that I'm turned sideways, right? Okay, so let's try that. So the players on this side are going to be turned sideways. Players on this side are going to be feeders. Now feeders, it's really important that you don't overshoot the dot, right? If you're going to miss the dot, I'd rather you miss short of the dot than long of the dot. Because if you miss long, you're going to be pushing your partner back, right? So try and hit the dot. Good job, Lynn. You got this. You're teaching the class next week. Well done. Good job, Val. Good feeding, Joe. Good. Very good. Okay, let's rotate around Margaret, one position.
Are you going to do two-handed or? I have a bad, I don't know if it's a bad hand.
I teach two-handed as second class, as a different class, at a different level. We will get there. But if you want to hit two-handed now, you can. Yeah, absolutely. So pause 1 second. So Val just asked, can I hit two-handed backhands? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you want to hit a two-handed backhand, hit a two-handed backhand, and I'll work with you on your two-handed backhand. Okay? I'm not going to teach the whole class as a two-handed backhanded class. I have a special class for that where I teach everybody in the class to teach two-handed backhand. But if you want to hit a two-handed backhand in this class, you can, and I will teach you individually or work with you individually on your two-handed. It's still the same thing, yeah. So can I stand here, Joan? I'm just going to do. Margaret, let's do a demonstration. So two-handed backhand is essentially a left-handed forehand, right? And I just have to get the ball in a little closer to my body. No, that's over here. That's over here. There we go. And I'm a little more open in my stance. But yeah, you can absolutely hit a two-handed backhand if you want. So yeah, with a one-handed, you're going to be a little more neutral in your stance. With a two-handed, you're going to be just a little more open. This left foot's going to be just a little bit further forward. Okay, there you go. Oh. Remember the block. Remember the block. We're just keeping the racket out front. Block first. Are you trying to hit the two-handed?
Well, I'm going to try.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Try it. It's good. Just not quite so hard. Yep. It's still a push. Ooh, that hit a loose board or a dead spot or something. Made a funny sound. Let me check the ball. Oh, that's fun. Turn sideways, Joan. Joan? There we are. So in this drill, Joan, you're going to be sideways. So we want to have you facing the wall with your feet here, back of your dot, so that you can, she's going to aim at the dot. Right, Margaret? There we go, Joan. Okay, let's rotate one position around Val. Around Val. Around Val. Okay, remember, you guys are turned sideways. Now, Margaret is left-handed. So she's going to be on this side of her dot, exactly, and you're going to aim everything at her dot, okay? Same thing. So Joan, if the ball's going to be bouncing there, You need to be standing one step back here and one step back here so that you can hit your backhand. Okay? Sorry? Yeah. So if
Not extending?
over time you'll get more experience middling the ball and you'll get better at that. I wouldn't worry about it. It's going to happen sometimes now. If you watch the ball, it'll happen less. Good job, John. Good feeding, Val. Nice, Lynn. Good feed. Good feeds, Lynn. Awesome. Okay, pause for 1 second. Okay, we have about 5 minutes before our next break. For the last 5 minutes, I want to work on something very, very specific. This is a concept, not a stroke. Okay, so just come on up in here. So every time I'm about to hit the ball, I'm going to turn sideways, you're going to stay straight on. Okay? I want to take a snapshot in my mind. Think of your brain like a camera, right? I want you to think about the ball and watch the ball at the moment of contact with your racket, right? Like you're taking a snapshot, take a picture, right? Okay, let's do it again. Okay. Oh, okay. At my dot, good job. Click, 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 click. So I'm taking a picture in my brain at the angle of my paddle, where the ball is in my paddle, how the ball is in the air. I'm trying to stop it at that moment and take a picture of that moment. Okay? Don't look where you're hitting. I want you to take a picture of the ball. Okay? Remember where you're hitting it, but take a picture. Click. Click. The reason you're overhitting is your back. You got a backswing. Remember, just keep it up front. Keep it up front. Click. 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 So try to remember this relationship. Wherever the ball is, you want to be one step behind it, one step this way. So so back up a little bit. So she's hitting it towards the dot. You want to try and stay out in this area because you want to be able to move forward here and forward here without having to move back. Okay? Val's going to try really hard to hit your dot. Hit her dot. On the dot. Okay. All right, let's rotate one position around Val. Val, stay there. Okay, both sides are doing the click, snapshot, watching the ball as it's making contact with your racket. Just aim for your dot. Margaret's going to turn sideways. Margaret, turn sideways. Click, 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 click. You don't have to be sideways, Joan. This side of the net is sideways. You can be front. You can be facing forward. You can face forward. You don't need to be sideways. They need to be sideways. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's try that again. Aim for the dot. Click, 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 click. Okay, everybody, let's take a break. Get a drink of water, and we'll have a chat out in the lobby. Grab your water bottles. Hit the washroom if you need to. If not, we'll have a little chat in the lobby while we're drinking our water. Or coffee, whatever, yeah. Water, coffee, tequila. I drink lots of coffee. I drink 2 cups of coffee every morning and 5 cups of tea every day at work. No, well, herbal late in the afternoon, but black tea in the morning. Okay, so how many of you have been told to watch the ball? You've been told to watch the ball? Do you watch the ball all the time?
No, I never watch the ball.
No.
I watch where it's going.
Should you watch the ball all the time?
Yes.
No.
No.
There's one really important moment where you don't watch the ball, and that's at the moment of contact. At the moment of contact, you strike the ball, you keep your head still, you look at the spot where you just hit the ball, like we just did with the picture, let the ball go, and then you look up to see where the ball goes. If you're looking up, you're going to be hitting high, you're going to be popping up, right? So you need to keep your head down, contact, then follow the ball. Keep your head down, contact. Call it a quiet head. You want to keep your head quiet. And that's why we developed a habit of taking a picture of the ball at contact and then looking for the ball. So just for that brief moment, we're going to not have our eye on the ball. People tend to think, well, if I'm hitting to that spot, I need to be looking at that spot. You don't. You know where that spot is. The ball's coming in. Your brain knows where it is. Your brain can, I mean, if I tell you to close your eyes and touch your nose, you can do it, right? Because your brain knows where your nose is, right? You know where the spot is. It's really important that you focus on that moment of contact. Hit it towards the target. Your brain knows where that target is, okay? And you don't necessarily have to hit your target exactly. You just want to be in the general area of it, right? Keeping your head down is really important because if you're looking up, you're going to be, you're not going to be watching the ball and you're going to be popping your shots. Now, come into the gym, I need to show you something about a pickleball that you may or may not know. Sorry? Exactly. Lobs too, yeah.
That's the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah. Okay, come on in. Let's make a little circle here. We're all going to make a circle. Come on in. Okay. So when I drop this ball, is it going to bounce straight up in the air? What's it going to do? Yeah, it's going to bounce. Watch how it jumps around like a Mexican jumping bean. A pickleball doesn't bounce straight up and down because it has holes. See how it jumps around? When it's coming towards you, it doesn't bounce straight at you. That one bounced a little to the left. That one bounced almost straight up. So they don't bounce straight. So if you're not watching that ball as it comes into the racket, you're going to hit off center, you're going to miss the ball, you're going to pop it up. So you need to watch the bounce. You need to watch the moment of contact with your paddle. You need to watch where the ball travels between the bounce and when it hits your racket, because it's almost never going to be in a straight line. You have to pay attention to that, right? It's really important. That's what we're going to work on for the next 5 minutes, maybe 8 minutes. Everybody's got the fundamentals of the backhand. Stay back from the ball. Watch the ball. Keep your head down at contact. Now we're going to watch that moment, that we're going to focus on that part of the path where it bounces before we hit our racket. Okay? That brief interval of time. Okay? So let's go back to where we were, and we're immediately going to rotate. Go back to where you were, and we're immediately going to rotate before we even start. Yeah, we are going to rotate. Is everybody back to where they were? Okay, everybody's going to rotate around Val then. Oh, you did? Okay, that's good. That's okay, yeah, we'll start here. Okay, that's good. Okay, now, the difference is everybody's going to be sideways now. Everybody's going to be sideways. Okay? But we're really focused now on watching that bounce, watching it into our racket, and taking that picture. Okay? Okay.
We're hitting me already.
Remember, you're aiming for the dot. Can't stand right on your dot. There we are. Good job, Joan. You're watching the dot? Don't watch the dot. Yeah. Oh, I didn't hear it. Thank you.
Watching well.
Yeah? Okay, pause for 1 second. Have you noticed the ball bouncing funny before it gets to your racket? So you never noticed that before, did you? You never noticed that before? Okay, exactly. So now that you know it, you'll probably forget it. You'll have to relearn it, but one day you'll have it. It's really important to keep that in mind, right? And when you're struggling on your forehand or your backhand, first question you should always ask yourself is about your contact. What is my contact like, right? And usually there's one of two things happening. Either you're not watching the bounce or you're pulling your head before you hit the ball. If you can get in the habit of doing those two things, watching the bounce, right, and keeping your head still at contact, most of your problems will go away. I've already noticed more consistency since we started watching the ball. Okay, I'm going to draw your attention to one other final detail. Lynn, you and I are gonna rally back and forth. I want you to listen to the sound the ball makes when it hits the ground. Are you hearing different sounds? Slightly different sounds? Okay. So this floor underneath it has supports, right? Sometimes the ball lands between the supports. Sometimes the ball lands on the supports. Some of the boards are a little bit loose. So the floor is also a player in what's happening here, right? You never thought of that either. So it's really important to listen to the bounce as well, especially if you're playing on hardwood. Listen to the bounce because your brain is going to get information about how high the ball is going to bounce by the sound it makes. So that's the final detail. I want you to pay attention to the sound that the ball makes when it hits the ground. It's going to do two things for you. First of all, by noticing the sound, your brain's going to develop experience about what the sound means for the bounce, right? The second thing that's going to happen is is he going to open the door? Oh, I think he's going to wash it. Okay. Second thing that's going to happen is it helps you focus on the moment of the bounce more if your eyes and your ears are both involved in it. Okay, so for the last few minutes, I really want you to focus on eyes and ears at that moment when the ball bounces on the ground. Did you hear that? Did you hear it hit that soft spot? It hit a soft spot there. Oh, look at that. Yep.
Why did that not work?
You didn't hit it in the center of your paddle. You edged it. There it is. Okay. So Margaret just hit our first cone. So everybody's going to rotate around Joan because it was Joan's cone that got hit. Okay, I want you to try and knock your partner's tower down now. If your tower gets knocked down while you're picking up the tower and resetting the tower, everybody's going to rotate around you. Try and do as many backhands as you can. If you can't do a backhand, do a forehand, but try and hit as many backhands as you can. there. Okay, well, Joan's picking up her cones. Everybody's going to rotate around Joan. 3 down all at the same time. That's okay. We're going to count Joan's because it was first. Joan, stay where you are. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Try not to do it on the serve, though. Not on the serve. Doesn't count. Hey! Joan's a target today. Oh, look at that. Lynn's doing it now. Okay, we're ready for the team version of this anyway. So this is what we're going to do. All right, we're going to 1 ball, 4 people. No, you're going to, yeah, you can serve. Okay, so you guys are trying to knock their cones down. They're trying to knock your cones down. Okay? Now, not diagonal, but I don't want you to hit the cones on the serve. And I want everybody to hit as many backhands as they can. So serve to her backhand. Hey, there you go. Okay, stop. No, you can't goaltend. You can't goaltend. Good strategy, but you can't goaltend. Okay. That would have been a kitchen fault. So, Lynn, you know you're trying to knock their cones down, right? Why are you putting it over there? Hey, there it is. You guys win. Okay. So now we're going to rotate teams. Everybody rotate around Joan.
Target again?
Yep, same targets. We're going to reset for a new game. Oh, the ball can bounce twice. I don't want anybody to go in front of their cones, please. Around the post. ATP. Hey, there we go. So you guys should rotate every once in a while just so you both get opportunities. So rotate. Oh, very close. Okay, Lynn and Joan, rotate. There we are. Good stuff. Backhands, Margaret. Backhands, Margaret. Trying to backhands. Okay, good stuff. Okay, let's everybody rotate around Lynn now. Lynn. Actually, we're going to change the game. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can you set those up like that? 6 in the center. And 3 on the bottom. And 2. Then 1. You've played this game before. All right, want to hit as many backhands as we can, folks. There it is. Okay. Let me show you what we're going to do. There you go, Joan. Oh! Oh! Oh, so close. Okay, so now reduce it by another one. So 3. Oops, I did it wrong. Sorry. I got it. 3 and 1.
Oh, that's weird. Okay. I don't either.
Hey, there's 1. So 3 and 2. Oh, you touched it. You touched it, but you didn't knock it down. Yeah, look at that. Tie game. Oh, so close. Oh, look at that.
3, right?
Yep, 1, 2, 3. You got it. Now, how many people are remembering to watch the bounce and watch that moment of contact? Yeah. Oh, look at that. Tie game. Who's going to win? It could go either way. Oh, look at that. Down to 2. Down to 2. Down to 2. Oh, touched it. Didn't knock it down. Oh, down to 1. Last one. Last one. All you have to do is touch it. You don't have to knock this one over. Just touch it. Don't goaltend, Margaret. Margaret. Don't goaltend, Margaret. Don't goaltend. Don't step in front of your cones. Oh, there it is! All right, everybody. Perfect timing. Yeah, we'll do that in a minute. Let's do that in a minute. I got to do my wrap up first, Margaret. Okay, everybody, come on in. Okay, so today we worked on our backhand. We learned to stay back from the ball, from the bounce, and to the side of the bounce. Remember? Think about how a knight moves in chess. Chess, you want to stay back. You can hit a backhand from in front of your body. You can hit it from slightly open. You can hit it from fully neutral. You can hit it from closed, right? Most important thing is that you're making contact out, comfortable distance between your body and the net. Racket head a little bit down, right? We learn to watch the bounce. We learn that a pickleball ball doesn't bounce straight necessarily. We learn to watch that moment or that interval between when the ball bounces on the ground and when it makes contact with our racket. We also learn to take a picture at the moment of contact, hit the ball, and then look for where the ball is going. Keep our head still. It'll help. Now, it takes time to develop habits. When you go to play recreational, spend at least some of the time at recreational not trying to win, just trying to focus on your habits. Am I playing with good habits today? The question you should ask each other is not, did you have fun today? Well, you can ask that, but, right? Did you work on your habits today? Remind each other, did you work on your habits today? Did you work on your habits today? How did that go? How did working on your habits go? Or what habits were you working on today? Remind each other to work on your habits, okay? Any questions about what we did today?
Will that, if watching the ball, will that help you get a shot that has spin?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you think about how we watch the ball go from the ground to our racket with no spin, think of how it changes with spin, right? Yeah, absolutely.
And it goes, as soon as it bounces, it's like...
But if you develop the habits that I've been talking about watching the ball, over time everything slows down for you. Everything's happening for you fast right now because you don't know what to watch for. But now, as of today, you know what to watch for. So the game will start to slow down for you. Margaret, is the game slowing down for you? Yeah, but is your perception slowing down? Are you able to see things? Yeah. Yeah. But it used to be when you played intermediate that the game was too fast for you. And now it's not too fast for you, is it? Yeah. 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 But my point is, intermediate used to be fast for you, but now it's slowed down a lot, and so it'll happen. It happens for everybody. Okay. Yeah.
Slow those because watch the paddle when somebody hits it, so I know
Yep.
it's going to lob or come hard.
Yeah. And now you watch the bounce. Yep. Come on in. Yeah. There we go. You want to roll it? Okay. Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Val. Thank you, Lynn. You guys have a good day. Well, we got it. We'll put it away. Oh, we got it. We'll put it away. You guys could take that chair and put it back in the room if you don't mind. Thank you.
All the way from a baby to 16. So you're talking about pickleball.
Oh, yeah?
And, so they said, why is that just for old people? And I went, it is. Whack and fall but if you play with good players, it is not the same game.
No.
Not the same game. Oh, did you find that? Oh.
Oof. Oh, no worries. Thank you. Awesome. Those are the short ones, 4 and 8. Okay. They're on this side. 5s are on that side. Yep. 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 You got her. Strap built. Strap got buried.
I have them lined up just right.
Yep. All right, we put the net in. Easy peasy. Nice job on the net. Very tight. There we go. Good stuff.